Load it up. Testing. Testing, testing.
Put the master volume up.
Man, you guys broke it.
That's all.
Is that? Hello? Testing.
I'm not going in
Testing.
Shit.
Hello? Man, you guys just broke them up. Hold on. Hello. Okay. Alright. I was ready to have a fit. This is behind the scenes Mommy and Me podcast. And I got some stuff I want to say. God. Ain't that right? We got some controversial stuff to talk about.
Well, why is it look like I'm so tall?
Because you are. So first, let me thank everybody for coming and taking a second to, we got to say today. We got some stuff to say, huh?
Yes. Yes, you do.
We got a lot of stuff?
Yes.
We haven't invested in mics, so I don't want to hear all that. Because ain't nobody got time for that. Matter of fact, give me my gushers. Because I need my gushers. I need a little snacky snack.
Okay.
And I might be eating some pork rinds, chaperons. But who are you to judge me? You still sleeping with your baby daddy. I mean, he done had 5 babies on you. He ain't got married, came back and gave you chlamydia. My bad. So in this podcast today, and many other days, you're going to get the raw, uncut version of our Village Events owner and CEO and founder. You guys are watching mukbangs. I love mukbangs. That's not what happened here. Anyways, CEO, founder of our events village, or our Village Events. I'm Taisha Rushing. And we got here author and profound engineer, rapper, future leader, activist. What's your name?
Saray Fields.
Why you say Saray Fields? Boy, what your name is?
Saray Fields.
Okay, come on. Don't act like you a mama. My kids be acting like they got the softest voice, but their mama got the loudest voice in the room. It's not given at all. And for those of you who don't know who Mr. Fields is, Mr. Fields is a young man who lost his father back in 2020 to gun violence. And it was a hard time for us. You know, it was a hard time. It took a long time for us to rebuild as a family. It took a long time to kind of just grasp at all that, because if any of you remember, 2020 was a hard year for the whole world. And here we are losing, you know, his father, who was extremely dear to him. You know, I ain't got the sad story, thank God. But what I can say is that both of my kids' fathers are outstanding. They got on my nerves. Teray got on my nerves. My other 2, he definitely get on my nerves. But I will always acknowledge and give credit where credit is due, that they were outstanding fathers. Teray was an outstanding father, no matter rather in sickness, health, or death. I feel like sometimes, even though he's gone, he still looks out for me and Yaya. And so today, so he lost his dad in 2020, and then, like I said, we rebuild. We tried to get back some sense of sensibility, stability in our home, and Saray was accepted into the Rise Book Project. Shout out to the Rise Book Project. If you are looking for an outlet of your own trauma through gun violence, please hit them up. They're awesome people. They're doing some amazing work over there. Lanaya, and I'm sorry if I pronounced her name wrong, but she's a beautiful soul, and her nonprofit is really giving back to a place for young people who have lost somebody in an amazing way. And so he was chosen out of a selected few of other youth and young people in the community to write a book. And in the beginning, it started out pretty crazy. Because if you know Saray, he has an exquisite mind, and his mind is always flowing with ideas. And so for a while, it took us a minute to really grasp what it was that he was looking to write about. Go ahead, pause it. Pause it, baby. So he was selected out of a handful of other young people in the community who's kind of been through similar situations when it comes to gun violence. And we came together, I think, as a cohort, as a team. And go ahead, Saray, go grab one of those books so we can show the world.
My book?
Yep. And this is Sprite. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party. I've been delivered. I know it's probably hard for some of you who really know me to believe that. Oh, but baby, God is real. And that's going to be on a whole nother day with the podcast. That's your book, boy. What you giving to me? See. He think I'm supposed to do everything when it comes to the book. Put the snack down. Put the remote down. Boy, what, you ain't watching TV? Show him the title.
Okay, I did.
Why you gonna give him the crustiest book in the bundle?
This is
If you order a book, it's not gonna be this one, okay? We have, I think, 25 copies out of the 38 that were given to us by Rise. And show the book. Show them glorifying the book. Yes, take it in. Whoa.
And here's the back.
Yes, honey. Yes. So, he wrote this book, The One Above All. Amazing comic book. Not your typical comic book, even though you might be like, oh, I've heard that title before. Don't be a hater, because I will come after you about my son. No pun intended. Ain't that right?
Yes.
So, he wrote this book. We're going to talk a little bit about the book here. And today, we're just going to let our juices flow. We're going to talk a little bit, I guess our idea juices flow. Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit about a couple topics. We're just going to let this podcast flow, because we know with podcasts, we don't want it to feel like script. And we also, your toes. And I hope people don't see your toes. If you see his toes, just know this. I tell him all the time, put socks and shoes on, boy. Jesus. But we just want you to see who we are, like as a family, as a mommy, as a son, and just like this is who he is in our day-to-day life, and that when you're supporting my business, when you're supporting his book and his businesses, you're not supporting someone who's just out here turning up, flipping up, and doing whatever. You're really investing in a family that has been through a great deal of hardship. And as just their mom, the leader of this family, I've been through so much, just from a teenager until now, and my level of resiliency is just impeccable. And so that's what you're going to see here. You're going to just see the real life of mommy and me. It's really not about the business neither. It's just really to let our viewers and our followers and subscribers and content creators to just see who we are. When you deal with us, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, and you might get mad, but I don't really care. That's why we here. So with further ado, I'm gonna let Mr. Yaya take over here. And we're gonna just kind of let him tell us a little bit about his book, what inspired you about your book, and what do you want people to like get out of reading this book?
One thing I want people to get out of reading this book is that nothing is impossible, really. That family conquers all,
Yeah.
and that if you want to do it, you can do it.
Yes.
And that mainly the fact that if there's a wall and there's a trial, there will always be a way to get past that wall.
That's my son.
Mom, please.
I'm sorry. You guys know, I'm a boy mom for real, and I really don't play with these guys, and I'll really go to jail by my kids. No pun intended. NBA non-disclosure off the record. Continue.
What else do you want me to say?
Tell them a little bit about yourself. Like, what are your hobbies? Don't tell them too much because there's schemers and scammers out there, and too much information is sometimes not good information. So, just keep it light and sweet, and, like, what got you through, losing a parent? Like, what did that feel like for you? And how did that inspire you to write your comic book?
Okay, so my name is Saray. I'm 13 years old. And
Didn't I just tell them don't tell them too much information? Go ahead.
And one of the main things that I usually like doing in my me time is making music. It's always been a dream of mine. It came before basketball. I started wanting to make music at like 9. One time I just had an idea in my head to start just singing. And
the sound has always been up in there, baby. Okay, go ahead.
And and I just really enjoy, the vibrations and the way people, make music. It's really a calming thing for me, to be honest. It's like, okay, if I want to make this sound, I could do that, and if I wanted to make this and make it sound like this, I could do that. And really, it oh God, the stutter.
Oh, take your time.
It's really just something that I can go to if I feel sad, if I just really want to get an escape from the world. And another thing about me is that I might seem a little harsh at sometimes, but I'm really a nice person once you get to know me. And one more thing, I'm kind of an introvert. I don't like talking to a lot of people. That's why I have a few little friends.
And I be trying to invite everybody to kick it with them. You be looking like, girl, what's wrong with you? Back up.
And one reason why I'm really happy for my mom's parties and her business is because back when I was like 10, all the way from like 5, she would always throw these like extravagant birthday parties. I remember this one party. It was I was turning 6, mom 5. And then there was this party, right, at my grandma's daycare, and my dad was there, and we were, I was gonna eat the cake, and then he dipped my head in the cake, and I was like acting, I was crying and stuff.
Oh my God, it was historical, okay, just all over the place. Like, what's wrong with you, boy?
And then I really cherish that moment. As that's one of the few things that I really remember from my ages from 4 to 6. It's a really an important memory and something that I can always tell to people as like a little funny memory I got.
Yeah.
And another reason why I'm happy for my mom is because she's wanted to do this for so long. I mean, she would be up late at nights. I'd be like, Mom, what are you doing? And she said, I'm working on my business. It's a really good thing to, because I make music, she does parties and stuff, and, I'm really excited for what the future holds for her because she's really successful. She's done a lot in the past years that has made us, financially, physically, and mentally well.
I love you. I love you.
I love you too, Mom.
Thank you for saying that. I think sometimes when you're a parent and you go through so much and you're trying, here comes the big bad wolf, Kyle. When you, oh my God, who gave the baby the laptop? And here comes the mini other baby. Oh, This is the babe in Christ right here. Say hi.
This is my.
Say hi.
Hi.
Look at Jesus walk. Stop that. Go put on some real clothing. Child, you gonna get us banned like that. Go put on some real clothes, baby. Go ahead. So, like I said, no, you cannot have one. You can have that. Sometimes when you're going through this process and you're being a parent, okay, if we're gonna wait, please. Okay, this is my life right here. Like, I'm trying to run a business and everybody started getting chaotic. But I love that. I work best in chaotic. And like I was saying, sometimes when you're going through this thing called life, you don't really see how impactful you are on your children. And sometimes in your head, you're like, you beat yourself over the head, like, am I doing this right? Is this the right way that I'm going? Do my kids really see the struggles that I'm going through? And I think a lot of the time after losing his dad, I spent a lot of time struggling, just mentally. And it would hurt me because I'm like, my kids are watching me spiraling and going through this situation uncontrollably, like with no control. Going from someone who was fully control over her life to like having no control anymore. And then after having my last son, just really spiraling fully out of control. But God is good. And so for my son to be able to identify that about me, and now remind you, this is not scripted. This is like fresh off the press. Everything that we speak of, this is nothing is scheduled. And so for him to say that is just confirmation that God can do what he needs to do in your life as a parent if you allow those steps to happen. And I also just want to let all parents know, whether you are in a relationship, if you're single, domesticated relationship, whatever that may be, that you can and you will be everything that the world or the universe has ordained for you to be. And that it's okay to cry. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to go through these emotions and stages of life, because in the end, you may think it's harming some of your children, but really, your kids are going to look back at it and reflect, just as my son is right now, and be like, listen, I know it was hard for you, Mom, but I'm just so proud of you. And so just keep working. No matter if nobody shows up to anything that you do, keep working. Keep promoting, keep advertising, and keep going. So thank you for that, Saray. So can you tell them a little bit about what inspired you to write your book?
Well, one of the main inspirations was because my dad loved comic books, and he loved superheroes more than comic books, and he loved video games. And one of the main reasons I wrote the book was because he gave me this old Guardians of the Galaxy comic. And I don't even know what happened to it. I don't know if I still have it. No, I don't think I do have it. I think one of Commander Kaido ripped it up. But I remember sometime at his old house, me and him, he had two phones, and basically we would play this game. It's called Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle.
Oh my God, I used to hate when they played it. I'd be like, are you not even doing anything else but sitting there in that room?
And then he would always beat me, and like I would get so mad, and like and every time I tried, like I could not win. And he also gave me like these Pokemon cards. And one thing I really like about Pokemon is because is the fact that like you can never get over them. And you can never really get tired of them, because like it's really, because I really hate the new Pokemon cards. They're like, they have all these other starter Pokemon. I remember when I was playing the original Pokemon, and it just had...
When he was playing the... Y'all remember when we, 90 babies, stand up?
It would just be Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charmander.
And Pikachu?
Pikachu wasn't really like part of the starting three. He was like... And I'm really sad because Pokemon ended like I think a year ago. And it was 20 years of greatness, and Ash finally got to retire. I think Ash.
Wow, we feel worse.
Ash is putting Pikachu through a lot. I think they should just make a spin-off of Pikachu becoming Raichu, because at that point he's almost 50. Pikachu
okay,
is 50.
First of all, don't. Don't disrespect the people out there that's been around since this is, but we don't want them to get upset. That was no pun intended to my 80 babies.
And animals.
Oh, he said animal years.
Yeah, animal years.
Go ahead.
And one more reason is that, I couldn't really, it's a cheesy one really. I couldn't come up with any new characters for the book. I couldn't think of any crazy superheroes, so I just made me and my brothers the good guys, but my littlest brother was the main bad guy.
Really?
Yes. He was kind of the bad guy for some time, but like he learned that, being good was better than that. And I am planning to release a second one this year.
Yes, and we're also looking for someone out there who's good with digital content. We would love to turn his book idea into an anime series. Animated version. So taking it digitizing it, and so if you're trying to help a young single black mom with 3 kids, this is what I want to use my sad story. If you want to help us out, go ahead and send us, like us in the comments and send let us know.
Can I use some pork rinds?
Yeah. So, and don't talk about it. Yes, we're eating chicharrones, pork rinds. If you don't know, I am from the dirty South, okay? A little house on the prairie, a little better than me. Honey. So, I know it ain't healthy. I promote health as well. Although it is, health is wealth, and I want all my black people to be healthy. But shoot, what can you do? Which leads me, before I go into that topic, anything else about your book? Like, where can we purchase your book? Where can we find your book? Do you have books on hand?
So you can find my books on Amazon, The One Above All. Currently it's $25. But if you would want, you could tell us on Facebook, and we could send you a book or something.
So I'll make sure that the links and all the purchasing options are put in the description of this video. So that's Saray. That is my big boy right there. I love this little boy. This boy has been with me through the good, the bad, the ugly, and the pretty. And I thank God that I'm still alive and still here for him to see the pretty side of all the great things that's going to happen for me and my lineage. Now, you want to say anything? So who's scared of the big bad wolf? Not me. Say hello. He's camera shy. But don't let it trick you. So, food. Today, I went in to Fred Meyer's. Thinking, Fred Meyer's, man, 10 years ago, you go into Freddie, you gonna get some deals. Bruh, when did they start making eggs? And I'm talking about eggs that are colossal eggs, like dinosaur eggs. And only 12 of them is in there. Talking about some $5.99. And then they got the little carton of eggs that's like worth $3.99. So I'm like, all right, we ain't get no eggs. He's with me. This little one's with me. He laughs at me when I be ranting. So I go over to the milk. Now he's allergic to milk, and so he has to drink what's called oat milk. And either oat milk or he can have milk, but it has to be in really small inklings of it, like 1% or fat-free, I think, or non-fat. Whatever the difference, I don't remember right now. So we're at the milk, so I'm like, shoot, we gotta get him some milk, cause we've been paying about $5 for a little carton. And there's a little white lady standing there with her daughter, and I just abruptly bust out saying, who wants to protest these damn prices? And her daughter looks at me like, girl, and her daughter's probably like 12, and she starts laughing. And I look at her mom, she's like, no, for real. She's like, I'm like, listen, if you join with me right now, and we get 5 more other people up in this store, we can shut this down and get prices back. Now, for those who don't know, I live in a white-based community. And the first time in the year that we lived in this area, That lady was like, let's do it. Let's go. And while I'm in there, there's this dude scanning codes. Now, if anyone knows about schemers and scammers, they have got very smart. So he has, now the people, the workers are stacking stuff and don't even know what this man really has. It was very, very detrimental to their business. So he was scanning codes because what he's going to do when he gets back home, he's going to go home, print that scanning code, right? Because whatever the device he has catches the code, barcode. He gonna go home, put the barcodes, change the price on that label, honey, and he gonna be walking up out of there with some good deals and nothing. Now, if you're black like me, and I hate to coin black like me as a thing, and because, you know, my people know what I'm speaking of, I was chasing that boy down. I said, where are you going? He wasn't stopping though for nobody. He was on the road. I think at one point he said, he was doing a dance getting them codes. But I just to say that, man, if you are out there, I don't know where you're at, but if you are out there, give us a holler. Let us know, what are your food prices in your stores? Because, honey, right now, Washington is out of pocket, and I feel like they're trying to get rid of a certain culture of people to get up out of here. And, baby, I'm about to give them their wish. Did you just eat all my stuff? See, here's the thing about kids. They eat all your stuff, and then they be like, in the moment, when they think you ain't paying attention, which I wasn't, now all my stuff is gone.
You want some more?
No, I don't want no more. I wanted what the more that I had. Don't you hear me telling the people that I'm mad about prices? You up here eating my chicharron? I don't know if that's like that wrong. Sorry, Latino community. I don't want to just straight on chicharron. Chicharron. Chicharrons. Chicharrons.
No, Mom, don't.
No, and I want somebody to comment in the, if you are Latin descent, tell us how to say this right. Because, you know, sometimes we need a teaching moment too. Which brings me to the next segment. You ever been to the grocery store and you behind a non-binary culture, predominantly white, and a white child is sitting in the little seat, and your black child or Latina child or Asian child sitting in his seat. And, you know, I don't know how you teach your kids, but at my home, I teach my kids to respect everyone. Unless they cross that line and you get on their behind. But in my home, I uphold the law of everyone, treat everyone with equality. Because you never know who's watching you. So, we're in Fred Meyer's. I have to dig back in there. You know, I done spent all my money because I only got like 16. I swear it was $100. I swear I heard the machine say, ha, I got you. But I don't know, maybe that was me. I don't know, you tell me if you ever heard this. Yeah, okay. And we're in the line getting a money order. And I feel these little eyes. You know, all black folks got some paranoia and schizophrenia somewhere down there, you know. No disrespect to people who's really dealing with that. And it's a serious disease. And it's a serious mental health crisis. So I don't even want to play like that. Let me take that back. But a lot of black people got anxiety just from our historical traumas. So I was like, it's what I look. Now, Kyle is only one. He's a very sweet young person. He's a little Tasmanian in the house. We call him the big bad wolf over here. And when he go, we everybody run. And I said, someone's like, look up, pay attention. I try to pay attention to my surroundings. The world is crazy. So I look up. My baby is smiling at the other little white baby. She may be like 3. Let me get close and show you what I feel like. She was looking at the boy like this. And then when Kyle started to smile at her, she went like this. Oh, you want to talk about mama? Honey, I gotta get close and personal with y'all. If you really know me, boy mom. I'm a mom, period. I love kids. I love all the kids in the whole world. But when she looked at my baby and said, I said, oh, you got the right one. So I was back and forth. Oh, what do I do? Oh, you have to, oh, I'm about to. I didn't have a belt on me. And I didn't know how to whoop nobody's shaft. And I ain't got time for CPS. But when I tell you, I got down low with a low ass. And I said like this. She said, and I said, don't mess with my baby.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So, if you ever see my black behind out in the community, looking crazy at another little white girl, just know it's for a reason. But as parents, we have to do better on educating our kids. Now, and when you start a new job, especially when you work for corporate America, what's the first thing they make you go through? Diversity and cultural training. I mean, can you remember just a couple years ago when, rest in peace, George Floyd and many other black honest men, working men, American, were being killed at vast rates, and the whole world wanted to be culturally appropriate. But now that it has died down, people forgetting where we came from. So what are your thoughts, Saray, on racism, discrimination? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, listen, I'm not a Farrakhan and I'm not a Malcolm X, but I do teach my kids the truth. Because one thing I tell my boys is nobody's going to love you like they love you in these four walls. Because when you go out there, they're going to try to kill you. They're going to try to cheat you. They're going to try to treat you. They're going to try to manipulate you, pull a fast one on you. So you better learn what I'm teaching you right here in these four walls. So what are your thoughts, Ray, on diversity, racism, and equality?
No comment. I'm just kidding. It's kind of, and I've experienced that too, because one time at school there was this kid, right? And I'm not gonna say his name. I'm gonna call him Benjamin. And he was a little bully, first day at school. I said something that he didn't like apparently, and he threw me into a garbage can.
And I was ready to turn that school upside down.
And it's kind of a little funny because that's something, because I watched this show called Everybody Hates Chris, and that's something that would happen in the show. And he looked exactly like the bully of the show too.
Ready, shut it down.
And then
I think I got about 5 people fired that year.
And then on the last day of school, it wasn't the last day, it was like 7 days before the last day of school. He came to the basketball court, me and my friend, we were playing basketball, and he started yelling at another kid. And I don't like that, so I said, if you're gonna talk trash, then you can go somewhere else. And he didn't like that. So he said, what are you gonna do about it? And I said, I'm not gonna do anything. I just said, please leave. And then so everybody starts circling around us.
Instigator.
Like it's a drama comedy TV show back in 2016. It said, and I swear I heard one kid say, "Fight!" and nobody was agreeing with him. So I looked him dead in the eyes and I said, "Do you want to do this?" And he said, and he just swung at me. I think he hit me in the nose, and then so I tried to fight back, but I'm a softie. Yeah. But there were some times that when kids would swing at me, I would dodge them. It would be so fast, I wouldn't notice it. One kid tried to hit me and he put his hand on a wall. His hand went boom into a wall. And so really,
because God don't like ugly, you don't mess with his people. And
the teachers did not come for a good 12, 15 minutes until and so everybody was screaming, and then so the teacher came, and instead of holding him accountable, they said, well, so hey, it's not a good thing to do that. And there was this one guy at the school. His name was Clint Richardson. He was a basketball player, and he was a 1972 NBA champion. I think I got his card on 2K, and he would always vouch for me.
Yes, he would.
He was the
Mr.
coolest
Richardson
person.
Yes, he would. Yes, he was.
And he came and he said, well, what's going on here? And the teacher said, well, Saray started a fight. And he said, well, let Saray say something. And I said that I told him to leave, and he started getting mad, and that he just hit me first. So I reacted, and he really vouched for me. And that day, my mom took me out of that school before the school ended.
Fast.
And I really haven't had a lot of good school experiences. But
a lot of racism is in the school.
Yeah,
a lot.
I found a lot of success from online school.
Yeah, you're doing excellent.
And I have a lot more time to be spending time with my family.
Yeah.
Because at that time, my next baby brother was coming into the picture, and I just started being able to be home and be with him while being able to be home, do my homework, take care of him. And it really taught me a good lesson that just because people are telling you these good things doesn't mean they're good people.
Yeah.
And I found a lot of good friends outside
yeah.
at my house, and I feel good about that.
Yeah.
Because I don't really like making a lot of friends. I keep like 4 or 5 friends and be like, okay, that's good enough for this next school year. And
that's real talk.
And right now, I'm doing pretty good in school. I'm not A pluses, but I'm.
But hey, you're learning.
I'm solid B.
You
plus.
ain't in, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because racism, I think, as a society, we really have to start fighting for our young men of color in the educational system. I mean, the educational gap. My background, I hold a bachelor's degree and an associate's degree, and my associate's is in human services, my bachelor's is in youth development. So I spent 6 years really understanding, studying, researching the disparities against our boys of color. And one thing that any of the districts that we've been through, they know when they see my name on an email, when they hear me calling, I have to change my name on my phone, just so that they would answer, because I was so intimidating, because I understood the curriculum behind the systematic oppression, depression, and the societal gap for people of color, predominantly young men who deal with a disability. And one thing that I do not play about is when you allow colorism and colorblind racism to be a target on a vulnerable population. I think so much of the time, and if you're a parent out there and you're hearing what we're saying, if you relate, drop a thumbs up in the comments. Let us know your experience, because this has been one of the biggest things that I dealt with Saray all of his life. Education, and anyone who's walked out there who understands what I'm saying, you know that I'm telling the truth. But I'll put it as this analogy. I think there's a picture that was actually in my librarian's office when I was very little. It's a picture of an elephant, a cheetah, a monkey, and a fish in a bowl. And the referee lines them all up, and in the picture, the referee's blowing the whistle. Now, how in the world is a fish in a bowl gonna race a cheetah, an elephant, and a monkey? Thank you. His sarcastic laughter is an example of how punitive the education system has been and is being when it comes to people of color. Because in that picture, the elephant diversity, first of all, represents diversity, culture, ethnic, and we are starting to see that, a lot of black and brown families are taking their kids out of the traditional education system. And for us, we've been doing it, for 2-3 years?
We started back in 2020, and
yeah.
I went back to school We started at early 2022.
Yeah, so we've been doing it for a couple years, and listen, it's not for the faint, right? I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, it's the easiest thing you can do. No, it's not. It takes a lot of discipline. But once you get a hang of it, man, my boy has been excelling. He's been getting awards, certificates, identifying his strengths, and it's so amazing because it has built a level of confidence in this young man. Now there are some times I have to give some of them teachers a history lesson, especially the history teachers, because boy, the curriculum for history is just so amazingly punitive. But the world that we know is changing. And if you're out there raising young men like I am, you want the best for your boys. Because you know that every day that they walk out the house, there's a target on their back. From the time they're born to the time that they're 13 and up, right? You want to say, I want? You want a snack? Okay, he's trying to pull me to get a snack, but so he just snapped. These young boys are targeted. I mean, how many stories have we seen where a child is just walking in the neighborhood with a tea and some Skittles? And how many times have a white male went into a school and killed the whole school? So, I say that talk to your kids about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Because, baby, when you run into me in the grocery store and your kid ain't understanding, I'm going to give them a history lesson. You do as I can do too. And, I try to be quiet, but I'm not a quiet person. Anyone who knows me, that Taisha is very outspoken. She's about justice and equality and inclusion, because I have kids who have been excluded. And so I'm always going to advocate for my community. Even if you're not, even if you're outside and you're binary, I'm going to advocate for you too, because all children deserve to be inclusive in all that we do. And equality is an important topic that, our government capitalizes on every single day. But I'm not going to beat your head over it. Let's see, what are we looking at? Music, oh my goodness. So, Saray, this is why I love online school, because it really allows Saray to understand what it is he's good at. And if you are looking for someone to make a beat for you, if you're looking for someone to create it from the bottom up, I'm not talking about just a hook of a beat. The boy can make a whole beat. And we'll put a little bit of that in there right now. But Saray has been working tirelessly to, let me get what it is. We eat around here, baby. That's why the food always on. Look how you looking at me. Oh, stunning. My girl in a stall. That's why inclusion is important. So tell them about your music. What kind of music genre are you doing? You doing hip hop, rap? You doing country? Country music. And country music, as I got friends in high places where the whiskey blows and the record plays.
Alright, so my music name and producer name is SB8, and it stands for Sad Boy 8 because there's a lyric on Juice WRLD's Bandit that says, got up and I used to be a sad boy. And, I've been wanting to make music ever since like 9 to 8, so I thought I'd just combine that with...
But give a shout out to who opened that portal though when you started online school.
Alright, so there was 2 people that really influenced my music. So one, shout out to my music teacher. His name is Mr. E, man. He really got me into making music. Because one time in class, one of the kids was asking if they could make their own music and present it, and he was like, "There's not a lot of things in this school because they said they didn't allow private stuff on their computer." Then he said there was this one website that we could use. It's called Soundtrack, And so I went on there and I made my first song, It wasn't that good. And I started out on SoundCloud and I still am on SoundCloud. They were not like top tier. I never really used loops, I didn't sample. But nowadays I usually, I got better at what I do. It just went from a couple of dun 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 to like a whole full-fledged like 3-minute songs.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a second person, and he's really big in the music. His name is Kendrick Lamar. You all probably know him. And I listened to all of his albums from Section 80. I haven't listened to Overly Dedicated. I will listen to that one day, but I haven't yet. I listened to Section 80, including Untitled, all the way to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to his other albums, but Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers goes hard. It is better than all of his albums. Like, you can play all of those songs and never have a skip. Mr. Morale, Heat, United Grief, Heat, We Cry Together, Heat, Purple Hearts, Heat, and the best song on there is Die Hard. It is the best song on there, obviously. The flow is slow. It has hip hop. The bar, he said, "Do you love me and do you trust me?" It's just so good. It makes you just want to just yell out how good it is. And I got a lot of my inspiration from him. And I really want to be like that one day.
Yeah. You want so one day you want to really be a conscious rapper.
Yes.
You want to give rap hope instead of false dreams. Now, why do you think? Why that genre? You could be rapping. Well, first of all, I can answer that because I'll tap that butt if he gets to sing about I was born in the trenches and raised on the street. Boy! Any of my African descent parents out there already know where I'm gonna go with this. Don't play with me. Now, I don't mind a little, giving people a little booty shaking music, you know what I mean? But even that, we ain't gonna be doing all that. But I'm gonna let him answer. So the question is, why that genre of music? What entices you about conscious rap?
So basically, I make hip hop / rap / R&B music, and what really inspires me is that the flow. It doesn't have to go so hard. It doesn't have to go fast. It can go at any pace. And I'm gonna give you a little insight about hip hop music. It's not really the fast-paced music. You really want to put it to 90 to 120 BPM.
And why is that? Because anything higher is what?
It's like too fast. Yeah, I don't like working with. Even if it's 121 BPM, I only use 120 BPM to 90 BPM. And it's really just, and I just started rapping on my songs. I usually post like beats and stuff on my SoundCloud, and I just started rapping. So if you want to go check it out, don't flare me because it's my first time, rapping. And I'm a good freestyler. And I don't really write down a lot of the stuff that I do, but I just started writing something down.
Yes,
and
I have to give him a notebook because he had really great ideas, but people don't realize you want to be able to tell a story when you're doing conscious rap. It's, because the other rap is just talking what comes to your head, and it'd be some crazy stuff that these kids be coming out with. So, yes.
And then another rapper, I like Baby Keem. I listened to his first album, The Sound of Bad Habits. It's so good. Wolves is probably the best song on there. Miss Charlotte is okay, I guess, but it's not the best. But if I really had to choose which artist I would want to collaborate on a song most, it wouldn't be Kendrick. It would probably be somebody like, there's this one guy, his name is Catlogs. He makes these slow, fast songs, and they're really good. I usually listen to them while I'm playing on my game, while I'm just trying to go to sleep, and it is really good music. I really want him to, one day I can get into that spot and the place in the music industry where I'm gonna be able to, be with other rappers and big rappers. And
claim it, baby, manifest it. And you know, with mommy on your team, mommy gonna always make sure I put everything that I can out so that you can be on those tracks with those rappers, or them rappers asking to be on your track. You know, one thing that I teach my kids is perseverance, and that anything is possible in this life. Don't let anyone limit your, except for this one, I don't think he understands it. This one right here is real, can be a real big bad wolf. Look at him. This is sad. This is just sad. This is a generated social media content leading generation. Is this? And we tried everything to stop this. I promise you, bro. We tried everything. But I ain't gonna tell you a lie. The boy scared me. But I always manifest. We have a moment of silence for all the brain cells that KL's gonna lose by being in that TV. By your hands. Okay, we're back. I manifest truth, light, and ability in my children, and I was taught by a military dad that if somebody tell you no, go figure out how to get a yes, because no is not an answer when you are a strong black woman. And so I have taken those same skills and given that to my kids. And I just want to thank you guys for taking this time to listen to me, Mommy and Me, today. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you feel confident in whatever it is that you're trying to do, that you want to do, and you don't know what to do or how to do it. I hope that you continue to spread love out in the world, continue to open up your mind to understand that anything is possible, even the impossible. And with that, we're going to drop the mic, and we'll see y'all next week.
Let me promote. Go follow SBA on SoundCloud, and go check out, and you're already here, but make sure to subscribe, hit that like button. Mom, why are you doing that?
I'm supporting you.
And go listen to my music, SBA. And, if you enjoy it, just drop a like on the songs, you know what I'm saying? I really appreciate it, and yeah, that's it. Mom, take it away.
Yes, and if you need any marketing deals, any promotion, any events, go ahead and check in that description and hit up my website, ourvillageevents.com. I hope you feel that you are part of our family now, and we're going to keep on working, we're going to keep on putting out this content, and we ain't going to let nothing stop us. Peace.